Welcome back, everybody. How's it going? As you can see, I might have been messing around on my own file. I was at work one night and literally had nothing to do. Like, there was one other person in my area, but they were also staying up all night with me, so, like, there was literally nothing to do. So, that's why I played this for almost 8 hours during that 9-hour shift, which turned into an 11-hour shift. So, yeah, I ended up playing through like my own separate file for the heck of it, got to level 9, got to the crystal stars, got about halfway through the glitz bit, but of course, we're here to tackle chapter 7. Get that last crystal star. So, we have done all our prep for getting ready for hopping into Chapter 7, so we're pretty much just straight up ready to go. I don't need to grab anything here. I think I was decently low on... Oh no, that must have been my other file. I was going to say I was decently low on coins because I went and paid the 300 to the dude super early. And of course I won't be getting that return on investment for a while, but nope, looks like we're good to go here. Just as a side note for anybody playing catch-up real quick, we'll show everything here for very quickly how we're doing on stats. Almost everybody has been upgraded. Flurry is the only person that is not because there's 2 shine spreads in this chapter. Everybody else is at their max ability, so we're good there. In terms of gear, I'm full up, but I kind of just made a bunch of stuff, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm going to try to be better about using these a little bit more in battle, he says, lying through his teeth. And as you can see, most of my level ups went into BP. There's only one that went into FP, which is why it's at 10. The reason I'm at 15 HP is because I've got some HP plus badges equipped. Let's go here. Yeah, I've got 1 equipped here. So you start with 10, you get another 5 from this. So 1 actual level up with flower points. Everything else has been dumped into BP. And I'm going to be keeping it that way because it's more interesting that way. More interesting. Let's dodge some enemies here. Yeah, that one might actually not let me, but that's fine. We'll get into a fight real quick. Most of my badge points have been dumped into pretty much just going strictly offense. The more, I guess, technically defensive stuff, I have stuff like Ice Jump and Spike Shield, so I'm able to jump on enemies that I would not normally be able to jump on otherwise. Power Plus to increase my damage. Power Plus Partner to increase my partner's damage. You get the idea. And that's basically where we're sitting with that. I'm actually going to go ahead and take on that other fight, because I do want to try to get more levels here. I think I ultimately have decided this is probably going to be, even if it's not like a full 100% playthrough, I want to try to do all the recipes, all the tattle logs, all the star pieces, obviously all the shine sprites. I'm going to try to show off as much as I can, and so that will include doing some extra fights that are not in the original game that I'm going to wager are going to be pretty dang tough, so the more levels I have going into that, the better. So every little bit of star points helps. Hey Aaron Kelly, it has been a hot minute since I have been doing very well. Loving the streams while I'm lurking. Nice. Yeah, I've definitely been doing well. I'm very excited for June, and not just because it's Pride Month, but also because June is going to be a very relaxed work month for me. I have tonight and tomorrow, and this is being recorded on the 1st of June for anybody watching this in the future. I have tonight and tomorrow on work, and then after that I am off from the 3rd to the 10th. I took that entire week off. Part of it was for going to a convention, which will be the 6th through the 9th, and then I just wanted additional days to, like, actually spend time with friends, even if they weren't going to that convention, you know, get things ready for being able to go, even though the convention is in VR, so physically I'm not traveling anywhere. But just to take care of all that, and then again, I will have another full week off from the 16th to the 22nd, so I'm going to have a lot more free time to actually be able to spend with friends, to get stuff done. It's gonna be nice. It'll be very nice. It'll be a hard contrast from the first third of the year where I was working way too much because our scheduler is not great. For those not in the know, there was one paycheck that I'm supposed to be averaging 80 hours a paycheck because it's, you know, bi-monthly, so 2 weeks. Instead of 80 hours, I worked 140. That's too many hours. That's almost the work of 2 people, at least in terms of hours. So, yeah, we should not be doing that. We should be letting people sleep and spend time with their families, like our scheduler got to do because she gets to set her own schedule. Which, in her defense, she used it to move, but also not in her defense. She used it to move, basically, her small mansion that she lives in with her husband, so I don't feel too bad because rich people problems. But now, it's everybody else's turn, because everybody else has taken, like, at least 2 vacations this year so far on my team. I'm the only one that hasn't. So, like, at this point, it's just like, well, you've known since January that this was coming, so no reason to be shocked by it. Speaking of not being shocked, let's fight the ice clouds, which instead of shocking will of course freeze. But don't take my word for it. Let's tattle these guys. That's an Ice Puff. It's a mean snow cloud that appears in cold areas. Max HP is 9, attack is 4, defense is 0. It swoops down and uses Cold Breath to attack. Trust me, it's not refreshing like a spring breeze. That Cold Breath can freeze us, so try to avoid it. Also, if we touch it when it's storing cold energy, we'll get hurt. Isn't that super weak? When it gets worse, it'll absorb any ice attacks we throw at it. It's vulnerable to fire, so let's try that maybe. We've got enough damage built up that we can basically just run right through them with jumping on them. See, there you go. I love doing high damage runs in this game. It's just so much fun to just completely annihilate whoever you're fighting. Like, oh, normally you should be doing about 4 damage. Like, yeah, I'm doing about 8 per hit, so, yeah. Alright, that's one of the Shine Sprites. I think the other is in the town itself. And after we get that one, we'll have them all. That'll be 100%. I don't remember if I'd mentioned it or not. I did find out off camera, off recording, whatever you want to call it, that yes, I think I saw it on NCS's stream because he was playing the very beginning of the game. We rated him for one of these. Yeah, Power Bounce has been nerfed. It is extremely hard to time now, and getting past 3 jumps is very hard. There's like, I think it was either 3 or 4 frames that you can hit the button on now. Like, it is not forgiving at all. So yeah, Power Bounce has been nerfed. It was a little busted. I would have liked it to be able to at least get like 4 or 5 hits out of it, but oh well, what are you gonna do, right? Ah, gotcha, nice. It would be nice to go to the beach this year, but I don't think it will happen, but also I'm more so saving up for taking a bigger trip next year overseas, which I'm very excited for. We're starting to plan that well in advance, which I very much appreciate. I'm not one of the people like, oh, it's got to get done like right this second, but also the sooner that you prepare for that type of stuff, the better off you'll be. That's a Frost Piranha. It's a cool customer with strong ice powers. Max HP is 10, attack is 5, defense is 0. Its Frozen Breath attack can freeze us, so try to immobilize it first. It's weak against fire attacks too, so use them as well. That said, don't even think about using ice attacks. It'll absorb those. And like with the other Piranha plants, of course, if you do not have Spike Shield and you try to jump on it, it will damage you. Ouch. And I got frozen. Luckily, I have quick change, so I can change my party member without sacrificing a turn. Which I'm actually not going to do. I'm going to switch to Vivian, because Vivian uses fire attacks. Never played the arena, didn't know it was a thing back then till now. Yeah. Chapter 2. This should tell you something. If you are enjoying Chapter 2, I would consider Chapter 2 to be the weakest chapter in the game by far. So if you're enjoying 2, you are definitely going to enjoy the rest of the game. And I think the 2 in the remake is a lot better. It fixed a lot of the big issues that it once had. So I think even in that regard, it has been fixed to where I would have given it, like, initially probably a 3 out of 10 in terms of how much I liked it. It's probably sitting at, like, a 5, maybe 5.5 now, so... 10 health cannot stop me. I remember those Frost Piranhas being a bit of a pain in the original. They might have had 10 health. It was a very high number because they were also enemies you fought in Chapter 7. Along with the little things that threw rocks at you that I can't remember the name of. This feels like a very good time for a Fiery Jinx. Funny thing is, he probably would have been better off attacking rather than using that item, but alright. Okay with burning my FP because I've got a bunch of items and I am full up on inventory, so this will work out just fine. Speaking of being full up on items, luckily we can just use that right now. Let's see, what else do we got here? That'll work. Oh, hi. I didn't even see that piranha plant there. But I am curious of what kind of build are you going for, Aaron? Are you going for, like, when you're leveling up, are you doing primarily badge points? Are you doing primarily flower points? I don't even know what's being thrown at me. Oh, dried mushroom. I couldn't even see that amidst all the piranha plants and big bombs there. Could also be doing a balanced run too, where you're just kind of like averaging them out. I know with my first playthrough, and granted this was of Paper Mario 1, this was the first Paper Mario game, I think predominantly what I used was flower points. Like, I upgraded badge and health pretty evenly, but I was probably upgrading flower points like twice to every one time that I upgraded the others, so I would have done like health, then flower points, then badge points, then flower points, then health, then flower points, and repeating like that. So flower points was getting double in that one. I just had a very FP hungry build in that game when I first played it. So most of my badge points would have gone to either defensive stuff like Spike Shield and Damage Dodge, or it would have gone to stuff like Flower Saver to reduce my FP cost for some of my higher valued stuff. Would be my guess. But that has been a long time since I played the first Paper Mario, and I still do love the first one. I still think in, like, not a lot of regards, but I still think in some that the first Paper Mario game does have some benefits over the second one. It's just got, like, a certain charm to it that is I've always found wonderful. And there it is over there, the final Shine Sprite. We'll upgrade Flare whenever we're back into town. I'm not going to go all the way back just to upgrade her, but that's it. That's 100% of the Shines. Yes, what business do you have here? We need to borrow your cannon to go to the moon. No such thing as here. We heard there was definitely a cannon. What do you want me to say? We do not have one. So what's this? What's this thing here? What else we got around here? Oh, we have a star piece. I'll take that. What am I doing on those? I got 6. Yeah. I've bought all the stuff I want from the Star Piece Trader at this point, so it's not too terribly big of a deal. Coupon, which I don't really need, so I'm just going to toss that. I do have a dried shroom, I can just use that up, I guess. We'll go ahead and use the end coupon, too. Why not? I can get my FP back for free. Also, because, yeah, if you do so, you can get space food. Replenishes 5 HP. I don't think space food is used in any cooking recipes, but I could entirely be wrong about that. I truly do not remember. I think there might also be a star piece directly in front of this cannon. No, maybe not. Oh, right, now I remember what it is. I thought you had to, like, bonk it, but no, you have to use bobbery. Now listen here, you're the mayor. How can an official like you lie that way? Oh boy, I know I saw a cannon the last time I was here, so do not lie, sir. The world could end. Huh. I live on the world. I probably don't want that to happen. Alright, so we gotta talk to each of them. Both Goldbob and General White. And, Goldbob's not too hard to find. We can get to him pretty easily. General White and hunting him down, however, I think is probably most people's least favorite part of the game. Because it's one of those, like, the last time I saw him, he was here, and then you go there, and it's like, oh, sorry, you just missed him. He was headed towards this. So you go to that new place, and then that just repeats, like, 5 or 6 more times. The good news is, since we're backtracking, because we don't have the warp to get here yet, we get more fights, and therefore more experience. We also get to show off Bobbery's last ability, since we haven't done that yet. Bob-Bombast. Attack all enemies with a massive blast. Repeatedly tap A. Nice. I don't really have anything other than, like, doing one of these. I guess we'll just pull out an Earth Tremor. Why not? We're almost at a level anyway. In fact, I think we get a level from this fight. It's no big deal if I use up my star points. Or star power. real question is, truthfully, what do I want to do with the extra badge points? Because likely they would go into Power Plus, because that's half of what I need for a Power Plus, so either I'll take away some stuff to be able to add that Power Plus, or I'll just save those 3 points for a Power Plus in the future. Let's see what I've got equipped here. Yeah, truthfully, of all this stuff, I'm perfectly okay with giving up Power Bounce, honestly, for a Power Plus. I don't have any normal ones, but I can do a Power Plus partner badge, so I'm down with doing that. That means Bobbery actually would get an insta-kill on those Piranha Plants if I used his final ability. But you know what? Let's do it. Why not? Nice. Plus, that gives me an excuse to use up an item here. That was one of the reasons I was okay with doing it. Alright. Does his individual attack also do 10? Nope, it does 8, but that's still really good for a single attack. I'm sure there probably is at least like one other Power Plus that I can collect. I know that's like the big prize if you actually do manage to win the lottery, is getting a Power Plus badge. But I gotta imagine if I've got 3 total for like the party members, there's probably 3 for Mario as well that you can pick up without having to do the lottery. I feel like if I do run out of Power Pluses and stuff like that, and I just ultimately find that there's nothing that I really want to equip with my current setup, I'll probably just start throwing on, like, the Lucky Day, Pretty Lucky, like, just increasing that evasion rate more and more. That's probably what I'll end up doing. So make a high damage, high evasion build. I'm basically gonna play this like I'm playing Fire Emblem, is what I'm saying, where that's usually what I want from my characters, is high damage and incredibly high speed to just dodge every attack. It's also probably good I get in these fights just for picking up the coins. I feel like there's going to be something else that's going to cost me a lot of money that I'm going to want. So maybe, like, if I just, like, run out of things to put on for badges, maybe I'll go and pick up from the Star Piece Trader and also get Money, which doubles the coins that you get after a fight. Maybe it's not doubles, but it is increases. I'm not sure if it's doubles or increases. Either way, though. Ah, you're gonna try to make yourself invincible, though. I see. Get it? Because he's icy? Alright. Yeah, if I wanted to use a weaker version of, like, attack all of the enemies, I can do attack all ground enemies, and it'll do 7 to everything for 3 FP instead of 9. That's still pretty good. Like, if you were only fighting ground enemies, you could combine that with Quake Hammer to give up 6 FP instead of 9, and that would easily be enough to knock out any enemy. Alright, back we go. The way I'm doing very poorly at dodging these first strikes, maybe I should be putting on the badge that prevents you from getting hit by those as well. I don't remember if I picked that one up from the badge trader or not yet. Oh, Fire Flower. Nice. That might get used in a recipe, but I doubt I'm gonna... It's a little late for doing 3 damage to all enemies at this point in the game, you know? Most enemies on average are probably, at lowest, gonna have 6 health with a high defense. They're typically gonna be closer to about 8, I would wager. And a Fright Mask that I don't think I can fit in my inventory, but honestly, I'm okay with throwing that away. They're not very good. I don't think they're used in any recipes. So yeah, I'm okay with tossing that. Alright, so finding Goldbob and General White. We're going to start with Goldbob since, again, he is far and away the easier of the two to find. And technically we do need to be in the sewers to get the warps, but I'm just going to take the overworld path because I think it'll be a tiny bit faster to do this. Could be wrong about that, but either way. Oh, since we have all the shines, I guess we can go and upgrade Flurry. Again, it's not going to matter, really, but since we're here, maybe he'll have some dialogue once you've gotten everybody powered up. Because normally he used to say, then you may go, but now he says, come back if you want to power it more, but there is no one left to power up. Care to power it more? Not really, seeing as I can't. I feel like if they ever did do, like, a more traditional Paper Mario, like the original or this one, if they did one more, I almost feel like they should go for a 3rd level in rank as well. But I know that that would mean that you'd have a lot of those. Before we go to the warps, I am also going to check with the Star Piece Trader. Okay, so you don't have money. So I either picked it up already, or you just don't have it. I could grab everything but Peekaboo, and again, I don't really use any of these. The only one I might consider is Item Hog, but I'm already using Item Hog because we had an enemy drop it really early in the game. Peekaboo's nice, but since I'm doing all the tattles, I don't really need Peekaboo. If you don't like doing the tattles, this is a pretty good option for you. I guess Flower Finder would probably be, of all these, the one I would want the most, but even then, I doubt I'm going to use that. Since I've got that, like, make something lucky happen whenever you appear into battle, and there's not that many things it can do, but one of the things that it can do is give you a restoration of 2 FP for the first 3 turns of the fight. So if you're getting into a lot of fights and you just don't use your FP too much for a couple fights, there's a good chance you're going to get most of it back. I love that all the warps are just, like, easily labeled like this. You can tell by the floor that's around them which one they go to. As opposed to, like, trying to remember, like, okay, which one went to Poshley Heights? Which one went to Bogley Woods? It's so much nicer this way. also condenses the sewers a little bit, so it's a little bit easier to navigate through. Nice little plus. I approve. So, yep, here's Goldbob. He's still in Podley Heights, the last place we saw him. He was on the train with us in Chapter 6. Must use the cannon to Fahr Outpost to save the world. Well, that rather is a pickle, isn't it? Very well, then I will certainly owe you a favor, too. Yes, I should say. Yeah, because we saved him during that last chapter. And just between us, I only stopped because the wife said she didn't like the noise. Well, surely she couldn't hear it from all the way over here. Let me demonstrate just how much you want to use that cannon. If it was a matter of money, how much would you pay if I ask? Everything I have. What? You'd pay every coin you own? All of them? You, really? Really? Yeah. Well, I suppose I'm just surprised to hear you say that. Staggered, actually. You know, that means you'll be left with 0 coins, with absolutely nothing. Yeah, Luigi can win by doing absolutely nothing. I mean, think of it, man. If you spent all of your coins, and I mean all of them, you would certainly face a great deal of difficulty down the road. Sure. But hold on, I want to make sure you're fully aware of the consequences. Are you sure you will not regret this later? Absolutely sure. Yeah. You won't say just kidding later on or any sort of tomfoolery like that? I can really take them all. Really. Yeah. Well, alright then. Well, you've certainly shown me something, sir. So I'll get my permission for you to activate the Fahr Outpost cannon. Yeah, Goldbob's pass. Oh, and I wasn't serious earlier, my dear fellow. How can I take your money? Yeah, he's already, like, super, super rich, so, like, what does he need? 600 coins, 661 isn't really much to him. So, yeah, you just go and talk to him and basically commit to it, and he'll just give it back to you anyway. So we can do double points at the train. But I'm not going to do that. That's probably one thing, admittedly, I won't do, is I probably will not keep buying items until I get to, like, the max 300 points. It would just be me buying, like, the cheapest item from any of those stores and just doing that over and over and over again. Like, I could do it, but, I mean, do you really want to watch me do that? That sounds like watching paint dry, to be honest, but if we really, like, completely run out of things to do, I guess I could do it. Alright, so, General White, when last we saw him, was in, I believe, Petalburg, which was at the very beginning of the game. If you don't remember this, I'm sure, like, Goombella might give you a hint. I wonder if I find General White here somewhere. Let's ask the locals. Well, maybe if I hadn't moved to Petalburg already, they would. So you got 2 options for starting the area in Petalburg with where do I go to find General White. You can either talk to the Koopa Troopa in front of the inn or to the mayor. Either one should work. General White? Well, I'm certain I've seen him, but he doesn't seem to be around now. I think he may have possibly said he might head south to a more tropical locale. Creaky Key, was that it? That might, possibly, perhaps could be it. Yep, it begins. Thankfully, with all the warps, this is much more bearable than if you actually had to go and do this. That would make it outright ridiculous. And it's already pretty ridiculous as it is. Thankfully, now that all the warps are confined together, this will be a lot faster. Alright, Keelhaul Key. Talk to Papatch. There's the big bomb right here. Yeah, I was here until a second ago, but he took off right quick. Said he was going to go to a city that floats in the sky or something. Off to Glitzville. I have done this before, and yes, I'm using a guide just so we're not having to, like, take forever to figure out exactly what character you have to talk to for each one. But that's all I'm going to use this for. Just so we're not here for forever. In Glitzville, we need to talk to Podler, who we have actually talked to before when we got the first upgrade of the hammer. He's the barkeep. General White? Oh, you must be that White Bomb, huh? Yeah, he used to come here all the time, but I haven't seen him lately. Now that I think about it, he was headed off to some huge tree, or not. After Chapter 2. Also, before we go, since I'm here, there was a star piece here that we were not able to get the first time because we didn't have this ability that you can roll under this thing and pick up. Alright, I'm back at the Great Tree. I might quickly grab one of like the strange eggs or weird eggs or mystic eggs or whatever it's called real quick here. So let me burn an item that I don't really care about. We'll start with the General White. You just talk to the Punie that's at the front of the tree. Welcome to the Great Tree. Huh? General White? Yeah, he's an old bum with his great mustache. But I have no idea where he went. He may have said somewhere that he was going somewhere dark. Which will, of course, mean Twilight Town. But first, I would like an egg. There isn't a question I can't answer, except for almost all of them. So you have to go with, again, the only easy question she can do, which is Mario likes which person the most? Which person does Mario like for the heck of it? Yeah, if you answer anything else, she will actually get stumped. Mystic Egg. I guess if nothing else with doing all the recipes with some of the more expensive ones, I can just sell them later on so I can get some money that way. I don't know if I'd consider cooking the best way to make money. It might be. I don't know. Like, truthfully, I have no idea. I feel like fighting the high-level enemies with, like, money equipped would be the best way, because you're also getting, you know, points towards your levels as well, but who knows. Alright, Twilight Town. If you're playing the original game, it's the Twilight resident that is directly in front of the inn. If you are playing the Nintendo Switch remake, it is either the mayor or the Twilight Town resident that's near the shop, which I assume is this guy here. You? Yeah, it's you. Huh? General White? Yeah, I know that old guy. He's a white bomb, right? He was here until recently. What? Where'd he go? What am I, his secretary? He just looked tired and kept mumbling about a cannon. Which would, of course, mean that where he went was back home. So now he is back in Chapter 7, back in Fahr Outpost. Now I can close that window. We're thankfully done with that, little mess right there. That's definitely not near as bad, thanks to having all the warps in the same room and not having to keep track of which one is which. That is a lot more bearable than it was in the original. Like, you would still have all the warps, except for the Chapter 7 warp, unlocked at that point, so, like, that part wouldn't really be the issue, but it would be, like, just trying to remember where each warp was. Do I have the space for... I don't have the space for this. We'll eat a super mushroom. We'll probably be trading it out for a normal one, but let's see what the lottery has got. Can I at least get a prize that's not just a losing one? Hey, the sevens match. You did it! How happy! You won the 4th prize. Here's your rank 4 prize. A life mushroom. That's not bad. I'll take that. I think that's the first... It's not the first time that I've won something off that. I have actually gotten 2nd prize before. But I think it's the first time when I've ever streamed either this game or the original that I've won a prize that was not just the de facto mushroom. So yeah, I'll trade a super mushroom for a life shroom. The life shroom heals for the same, but it's an auto heal when you die, if you die. So yeah, I'll definitely trade out for that. So Rockhawk, I'm reborn. My training regimen will blow your mind. On rainy days, I feel the bruises your hammer of shame left on this bod. Yeah, we'll go and re-challenge him at some point for sure. Because that is something I want to do. Plus, since you've got the optional bonus fight now that wasn't in the first game, then I'll have to do that as well. Out of curiosity, I'm gonna see with the Power Plus partner badge that I just added. Let's see exactly how strong Stampede is now. Nice. Yeah, with doing those, like, Death of 1,000 Cuts type of things, where it's, like, a lot of multi-hits that aren't super strong individually, those definitely have the capacity to get very strong if you're upgrading your partner's damage. I'm gonna get rid of the Fire Flower. Just because I think that Ruin Powder is used for something, so I might want to hang on to it. I don't remember what, though. Dodgy. Some attacks will be dodged. Well, good news. Since I want to give up some inventory space, I'm also going to use a Repel Cape on my partner to literally just get rid of it. So now everybody's dodgy. Well, let's go in the fight. I do recommend, like, keeping at least a Repel Cape or a boost sheet on you for, like, emergencies where, like, it's really bad and you need to be able to dodge an attack. The boost sheet is obviously the better one because you will dodge it. The Repel Cape isn't a guarantee. But I don't need 3 of those. I would prefer, like, 1, maybe 2, but 3 is too many. I don't need that many. In fact, I'm actually willing to double down on saying I don't need that many because I've got 2 boost sheets, so I'm just going to use one right now. I'm that confident that I won't need that many. Oh good, my defense increased. Not that it's going to matter because I'm invisible and therefore actually cannot be hit. But thanks anyway. This is what I mean about, like, it's probably worth, because I think I talked about this in the last video, like, it's kind of worth getting into these fights for the 3 times that you're going to go through this area. When you're first going, when you're going back, and then when you're coming back again for the end of the General White quest. It's probably worth getting into the fights, because you'll probably get a full 100 experience between those 3 trips. Like, just from those fights alone, you will probably get a level. Unless you're very over-leveled and you're getting next to no experience, because the Piranha Plants are probably going to give you 3 or more points for each one that you kill. And it's probably going to be more. It'll be closer to 4 or even 5 if you're really under-leveled. I probably won't get enough to get a level, but I'll be pretty close. I'll probably be sitting at like the mid to high 80s, I would guess. Depends on how many enemies are in each group that I'm hitting with the first strike on the field. Plus, more money, which is always a nice little bonus. So do I have money as a badge? I don't think I actually do. I think it is still, because I know it's one in the first game. I think it's still one in the second game, but you probably get it somewhere else. In fact, it might actually be on the moon, if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong about that as well. Ouch. We can't do the nuke, so let's do this. Let's do something crazy. Mystery. We're kind of in a weird spot where I can't, like, do anything in particular that's going to work too terribly well. There we go. Shooting star. That'll work. That'll kill them all. I figured that was either going to do something like that was going to be a multi-hit attack, Thunder Rage, Fire Flower, anything would have worked at that point. And if that didn't happen, then it was probably going to heal me, which also would have been nice, so win-win. It looks like they potentially, I didn't look through the roulette as closely as I should have, but I think there's no, like, bad effect in there like there was in the first Paper Mario where there was the possibility of getting, like, a small rock, which would actually damage you. It didn't look like that was in there. I guess I already used the other thing. I've got plenty of 3 slots now, though, so I'm okay to hold off on using my items a little bit here. But yep, here we are. This empty house earlier had the star piece. Here's General White. Just asleep. He seems to be asleep. Wake him up? Yeah. He's still asleep. Try again. He's still sound asleep. Try again. He's definitely still asleep. Try again. Are we sure he's not dead? He's still sawing logs. Try again. Where did that phrase come from? Sawing logs. He couldn't be more asleep. Try again. He's counting sheep. Try again. Nice rhyme there. He's woke. No, still asleep. Try again. I like how he's slowly getting crushed more and more because we keep jumping on him. Sleeping like a stashed baby. Try again. He's not even budging. Try again. He's still snoring away. Try one more time. And then he finally wakes up. I'm curious about that, though. Oh yeah, so it is what I was thinking of just wood cutting through logs or lumber sounds like the buzzing snore of someone sleeping heavily. The sound of sawing was common in the 18th and 19th centuries, hence the item's popular use in casual, often humorous conversation. Makes sense. I was wondering if it was something else, but nope. It was what I thought it was. So yeah, he's been looking for us and we've been looking for him, which just makes it doubly more annoying. So he's been looking around, he just gave up, and then once he gave up, we found him. It's like that running joke of people getting confused whenever they get split up of like, Dad always said if you get lost, stay right where you are, or Dad always said if you get lost, like, go to the last place that you know you saw each other, and it's like, well, one person might remember one place and one person might remember another, so, like, how useful is that really? Now, permission to use the cannon must mean you met up with Goldbob. Yep. General White is back too, and it's now time for Big Bob's grand revival. Let's do it. We did it, Mort. We did. I'm very excited. I am going to go ahead and very quickly sleep in the inn. Not for the item, but just to, like, once I'm heading to the moon, it's going to be a little hard to get back anytime soon. No rhyme intended. So as a result, I do want to go there with full health. So do bear that in mind if you are up to this point. It's not a point of no return, because there is a Chapter 8, but it's just, it will be a while before you can get back to Rogueport pretty easily. So just be aware of that. And then we go loaded into the cannon a la Mario 64. I guess this whole concept has been retconned since Origami King with having the other bomb-bomb, because in that game it's like if a bomb-bomb explodes, like that's it, they die. They don't come back. But in this game they're using themselves to load the cannon and they very much survive. They show you the bombs parachuting down to the ground being like all excited because the cannon was back online. But I'm willing to bet if most people wanted to keep the canonical events of Thousand Year Door or the canonical events of Origami King and you can only pick one, willing to bet most people are probably going to take Thousand Year Door. If for no other reason than the characters, like the main party member characters, are much more beloved in that game than they are in Origami King, which I think, like, largely that bomb-bomb is really the only one. I think you might get, like, one other that's sort of, like, more of a guide rather than a party member, as opposed to this game where you've got 6, potentially 7, depending on if you go for the optional one, so... Yep, the cannon still looks like a Coke bottle. Yeah, that definitely looks like an old school Coke bottle. That's awesome. To the moon! There you go. There's a hard trivia question right there. Of like, whenever you're shooting to the moon, what are the coordinates that they're giving to be able to target the moon? What's the wind speed, correct direction, and correct elevation? All that. Look at all those bombs. It's crowded in here, boom. Well, yeah, that's kind of the idea. Stop breathing on my neck. You're bombed. You don't have necks. Looks like Team Rocket's blasting off again. Yep, there you go. There's all the bombs parachuting down. Alright, that's the first, I guess third. I don't know. I feel like it's more evenly split into halves, and we're still in the first half. We're getting towards the end of it, where the second half is the base that's on the moon, but the first half includes this part, which is walking around on the moon itself. Oh, I have to mash the button to get out of this? That's nice. Never thought I'd take a ride like that. Heyo. Alright, from what I remember, there's a fair few things you can hunt down in this part of the moon. Like a stopwatch, for example. You don't get a lot of these in the game, like finding them anyway. You can buy them from the dude, but you don't find them too terribly often. I'll try to check by every, like, rock and thing that we go by, but I'm not going to worry about it too terribly much for the time being. It's just, if it's an area that I'm relatively close to and can get to relatively easily, then we'll check it. But as you can tell, walking around on the moon, you don't go very fast in this area. I guess what I could do is I could pull up the list of star pieces for this. Chapter 7, star pieces. The moon. Oh, good news. There's only one star piece on the moon itself. There's a couple in the fortress that we'll go to, but those are a lot easier to find than the moon. And this one will have the fortress in the background, so it'll actually be pretty easy to spot. Well, then in that case, it will not be difficult at all, and we already know we collected all the shine sprites, so doing this would just be for additional items and nothing more. Of course, there are enemies on the moon, just like in real life. What say we have a little tattle, find out more about the moon rocks. That's a moon cleft. It's your basic cleft living on the moon. Max HP is 6, attack is 5, and defense is 5. Defense is high as usual, and fire attacks will not work against it. You can turn it over with an explosion, though. Its defense goes down to 0. I believe, once again, like with most of these guys, Quake Hammer also still works. Yep, sure does. Quake Hammer is also an option. I am hoping that we will get... Oh, that's cool how the coins fly around in 0G there. I'm hoping by the time that we get through X-Naut Fortress and beat the boss there, I'm hoping we will get 2 levels total. We're very close to 1 right now, and I'm hoping we'll get another with going through the fortress itself. You've been watching this for a hot minute if you've been watching this in the archives. But I'm going to say it again. I cannot recommend Quake Hammer enough for enemies in particular like this that you run across. It doesn't cost a lot of flyer points, it doesn't cost a lot of badge points, but man does it help in making those fights go by faster. Because you really don't want to be sitting there wailing on them with a hammer and doing all of 1 damage to them. It's just agonizing, honestly. Like, the only reason that I'm doing as much damage as I am is because of all the power pluses that I've got on me. Prefer the FP restoration, but that's okay. We can always use that item we just got. Probably using the spin would have been better to knock him into that back guy since we're about to get a level, but no big deal. We can just do this instead. Means we get another level, which means I get to decide what to do with my my badges here. I gave up power jump, and I don't really, admittedly, because of how hard it is to use, I admittedly don't want it back, so really, we're kind of with free reign with what we can do with this one. Like, I might give up whatever I put on now for the next Power Plus badge when I get there. But that's when I get there. We've got the points now. So we can add more FP, more HP. I don't really feel like Double Dip's that helpful. Fire Drive's not going to help here. Happy Flower is a possibility, and the Pretty Lucky badges are also a possibility. I think what I'm going to do is Happy Flower to make my FP consumption a little bit better. And I'm also going to put on Chill Out so that I'm not getting hit by these first strikes left, right, and center because I'm doing a poor job of dodging them. That is something I could get better at, but like if we can just negate that chance from happening altogether, why not just do that? But yes, I can very much recommend Chill Out. Chill Out is another very good badge. It's very cheap, so it does not cost you a lot. But if you're getting nailed by a lot of first strikes, high recommend there. High recommend. That could be an interesting video for me to do, of like the top 10 badges, maybe, for Paper Mario 1000 Year Door, which is very dependent on your playstyle. You know, if you're using something that's high FP consumption, Flower Saver might be good, but if you just don't use a lot of FP in your build, then yeah, that's probably not going to be worth your time. In fact, it would probably be easier to make a list of the badges that are bad, because there's really not that many. Almost all of them have some sort of practical use. The only one that doesn't, that I can think of off the top of my head, is Slow Go, which we talked about this before, because it was also a badge in the first Paper Mario, but there was a spot that, while you didn't have to, if you didn't want to do the fights, you had to sneak through to get a key, which meant you had to hold the control stick, and you had to like move it very lightly so you would walk, not run. But if you had Slow Go equipped, you didn't have to worry about that little getting accustomed to how much you have to move the control stick. But in here, in this game, there is no challenge like that, so that one use that it had is now gone. So that would probably be the worst badge in the game. Keep poking around here for the enemies. Let's see how much faster we move if we've got Yoshi out and... Nah. A little bit faster. Not by much, though. I'm gonna keep blowing up these rocks to check for items. And items like that are why. I'm just gonna eat the space food. Well, you know what? Let's use the mushroom roast. I know that's basically like a full heal for Mario and also for the FP, but if I'm going to use up an item, I might as well not completely waste it and get something out of it. Especially since it's looking like this will be another opportunity to Quake Hammer again. Another good option here, too, is if you've, which you should have by this point, if you've upgraded every party member, if you've got Koops fully upgraded and you've got enough FP to do it, Shell Slam would be another good option because it's an attack all ground enemies, but it also completely ignores defense as well. So, another good option there. I don't think anybody needs even an extra point of health. I think everybody's at full, so... Away with the dried shroom, we will have it no more. The funny thing is, I was talking about like, oh man, I really hope that we're gonna get another level before the chapter ends. I have no uncertainty that we will definitely have another level before the chapter ends, just because of how many guys there are here. I don't remember there being this many moon clefts out on the moon in the original game. There were some, yes, but I don't remember there being anywhere near this many. What I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to get some of my FP back with Sweet Treat. second one, so now we're free to go crazy. I don't think I pointed this out. I definitely remember seeing it in a comment somewhere, but yeah. In the original game with Sweet Treat, there were 3 poison mushrooms. This one only has 2, so once you've seen the 2 go by, you're free to just mash the analog stick like a chimpanzee. Because at that point, there's no bad things you can hit. So potentially, depending on how many enemies and how good they are with dropping star points in the fortress, we might actually end up getting 3 levels in this chapter. Yeah, there's another one right there. Jeez, there's a bunch of these boys. And they're like seem to be in groups of 3 or 4, so there's a fair few of them per fight as well. Save my FP here because I don't really need to be quake hammering through all this anymore. I know some enemies will stay down longer than others. Like the Buzzy Beetles are ones that will pretty much flip over right when their turn starts. They'll lose their turn, but they'll flip over. I guess the idea is like the spikes get stuck in the ground for the other guys, like the Clefs and whatnot, so that's why the Buzzy Beetles flip over faster. But that's just a guess. I'm not completely sure about that. The stage really wanted that Clef to die before Coop's at his turn. Yep, go ahead and use it on up. That is nice, because I am going to try something a little crazy here. I talked about it being good on these guys. Let's see if we can get enough FP for Shell Slam. I think that'll do it, honestly. The rest of these are probably going to be just health. Oh no, there's one more flower in there. Yeah, that should be plenty. That's almost full. Yeah. I think Shell Slam is 6. I could be wrong about that, though. But whether it's 6 or 7, I got enough to do it. Yeah, it's 6. Repeatedly tilt L to the left. Well, we just did that, so we should be good at it. Plus, you had to do this with Lady Bow's attack in the first game. Yeah, that's 8 damage right there against all of them, so... if you need to wipe them all out and you've got 6 FP, just pull out Coops and do that. That'll work. All of them on this panel. Let's keep going. This area is always weird because, like, even if you know exactly what to do, and it's just keep going to the right, you're like, I'm doing something wrong every single time. I'm doing something wrong. This does not look or feel correct. But now we're starting to run into the Yuxes, which are Grotus enemies. So that definitely tells you you're heading in the right direction here. I don't really need a POW block, but thank you. Especially considering the Yuxes that are in this area are not ground enemies, so wouldn't be much use against them, now would it? So these don't have any defense. But I am going to have to keep it alive for a round to get the other tattle of the mini ones. we'll see what else we can do. That's a Z-Yux. It's a genetic improvement on the original Yux. Max HP is 7, attack is 4, defense is 0. Multiple mini Z-Yux will appear to protect the main unit, as you'd expect. Sometimes they also restore HP to the main unit, which really burns me up. Doesn't have much HP, but those barriers often protect it from attacks. Yeah, so just, like, wipe it out super early, essentially. I think I'm just gonna Sweet Treat. Hey, 777 coins. That's nice. I'm just gonna Sweet Treat to get some of my flower points back. Because, again, I want the mini ones to show up to be able to tattle them, so I don't want to just defeat it. Nope, I hit a poison mushroom, but it's okay. I got all the flowers, and that's the important thing. It puts everything at full, except the star gauge, but that's fine. I'm just gonna spawn the one. Perfect. Alright. That's a mini Z-Yux. It lives to protect the Z-Yux. That could be as many as 4. Max HP is 2 and defense is 0. Seems like they won't attack directly. However, if you don't clear these guys out, you'll never be able to attack the Z-Yux. Attacking a multiple, or using a multiple strike attack to take them all out at once is a totally good idea. I mean, respect them for protecting their whatever, but they get no mercy. Nope, they get jumped on instead. I do believe that these are some of the enemies that you can potentially miss because after you defeat the chapter, they just don't show up ever again. So you can collect their tattle logs from the trash can in Frankly's house if you don't tattle them. But I try to get everything without doing that. And thus far, I don't think we've missed any. So I'll try to do that as often as I can. Wow, apparently they drop absolute crap for money, too. 4 coins. Bella should be able to get that Yux, because she does, what, 10 damage per attack now if you get the double? Yeah. Not bad considering there was a point in time where she was only doing 1 damage per hit. Now she's doing 5. Between the power pluses and just her natural leveling up as well. I say Gambella can be totally fine as a party member. The only real downside that prevents her from easily being the best is just you don't have a partner Spike Shield. If she could jump on spiked enemies, I'd probably be using her pretty much always. I guess she wouldn't be great against, like, the high defense enemies, but that's about it. And even then, you could just use Mario to damage those guys. I didn't see how much. 4. I give 4. That's not terrible. I mean, I guess they're not too terribly strong enemies, so 4 is actually pretty good now that I think about it. Like, they've got 7 health and we're doing 10 damage, or 12 damage, and that's just with Mario. Goombella could do another 10 on top of that. So yeah, I guess 4 is more than reasonable, actually. I know they can get out of hand if you let them, but if you're doing a run like mine, they're probably never going to get the opportunity to do that, honestly. Ooh, I do want that. Nope, that's not what I'm trying to do. What am I okay with giving up? We can buy the pasta pretty easily. We'll just do a full heal. Power Punch. Where was that star piece? I know it was here specifically. Behind a rock to the southeast of the pipe. And the pipe's behind that, so it's just going to be any of these 3 rocks, probably. Let's get this guy out of the way first. I think we need to flip this guy over. Oh, don't even have to flip him over. That'll work. I mean, I guess ultimately he did get flipped over, but he got flipped over when he had 0 health, so... Yep, right there. Okay, that's easy enough. We're finally free of the not actually 0 gravity, but still slows down to a snail's pace as a result gravity. Also, the toddler next door has awoken and has started to cry, as it often does. I never thought I'd say I'd miss the weed heads that live next door, but I kind of miss the weed heads that live next door. Mostly because they were only really loud, like, once a day. With the toddler, it's like, it's either crying or, like, stomping around and going crazy. So, it's pretty much either that, or it's asleep. And there is no in between. Alright, we've talked about it for a while. Let's go to the X-Naut Fortress. Thankfully, there will not be low gravity here. I don't think we get the music until it actually tells us that it's the fortress, but I remember the music in the OG being pretty good, so I'm curious to see what this will sound like. I might turn it up slightly on my end when it does kick in. If I remember where I put my remote. Ah, okay, perfect. Alright, we'll hang on to that. Who's that dude? Whoa, that's Mario. So let's get him. Righteous. We haven't fought any of these guys yet. I mean, we fought the X-Nauts, but not specifically these. Oh, you got a Thunder Rage. I got some bad news for you, my friend. We like to call that in the biz, making yourself a target. Okay, we'll see what the other one can do, because we're going to give up a turn to Tattle. That's an elite X-Naut. The guy is the creme de la creme of the X-Nauts. Max HP is 10, attacks 5, defense is 1. He'll use regular attacks as well as boosting his power or size. Elite X-Nauts are tough, but you just have to smack away until they go down. Or he could just miss completely. That works too. What a weenie. Yeah, it's entirely possible we'll get 3 levels total, because we're definitely getting a second one in here. These X-Naut dweebs are here. That's totally it. The Princess Piece must be here too. The Crystal Star must be here. We gotta find it. Yeah, it's still a banger. Nice. It's still a bop. Perfect. That makes me happy. Welcome officially to the X-Naut Fortress, everyone. The Dungeon of Chapter 7. This one's probably the most complicated, but it doesn't feel like you're getting lost too much. It's just there's a lot to it. And I don't hate that, honestly. I'm kind of down for that. Show me what you can do, buddy. You did it. You showed me what you can do. Proud of you. That's the thing about getting the dodgy, is like when you add the dodgy on top of all the like pretty lucky badges, there's basically no way they're gonna hit me at that point. It's already gonna be tough with all the lucky badges, but when you add that on top of it, like forget it at that point. I don't think I have space for that fire flower, tragically. I do not. I'm gonna hang on to that ruin. It might be an item that you can actually pretty easily pick up, but I feel like I'm thinking of something else, so. Even I'm not that bad with my memory. Nice try. I really have no use for that Ultra Shroom, but like with most of the Ultra Shrooms, which is why I've got 2 in my inventory already, I'm less keeping them for the obvious more than full heal they would give me, and more for the recipes, so that I will not have to buy the Ultra Shrooms. I'll just have those on hand. Please insert the key. There you go. I don't think this one gives us options. Oh, it does gives us options immediately. I thought it was just going to take us down to sub-level 1. We'll start with 1. I don't remember the exact order, and I'm not going to use a guide, like, full-on for this. It's not going to be an optimal run or anything like that. I'm just going to go how I would normally go, which is starting with the lowest level, or with the first level, and I'm just going to go left to right. It's literally going to be that simple. Man, this is like the part of the game that I always enjoy the most with the combat, because you're getting like, I wouldn't say like insanely difficult enemies, like these are still going down pretty easily, but this is like where you're fighting the big enemies. You're getting to see like high damage numbers, you're getting to see high health bars. This is the good stuff, this is where you're starting to get those levels too. Sign me up. So once again, we've got badge points to play around with, and truthfully, I don't have any specific pull towards anything. I'll deal with that honey syrup in a second. You know what? Let's put on Flower Finder. Let's do that. Why not? And we'll just eat the space food again. We'll make it easier to where we can be a little bit more reckless with our FP, potentially. Alright, so remember this. This is a couple of the badges, the Feeling Fine badges. I heavily recommend these, so I'm sure my next level will probably go to these. In fact, I might get rid of the flower for these. They'll prevent you from taking a lot of different status effects, so very good in that regard. But we need a gear in order to operate that, so we can't do anything with it right now. This feels like a good opportunity to just end the fight all in one swing. Yeah, those normal X-Nauts have long since stopped being good for star points. They were easy in Chapter 2. 5 chapters later, unsurprisingly, they're pathetically easy by now. The honey syrup. That Thunder Rage would be nice to have. Check. Please enter the access code. I actually think I remember it, believe it or not. Oh, maybe not. Just put in nothing. Perfect. Because I think it's a number and then it's like double that number plus 1 or something like that. But for all I know, they changed it. Point is, there's not much we can do on sub-level 1 other than clear out the enemies, so let's go down to sub-level 2. Try to throw a bottle at me, boy. Well, I guess we'll have to tattle that guy at a later date. It's fine, though. I figured he probably wasn't going to have that much health. I was thinking like 7 or 8, but I should have held back and hopefully kept him alive, but no big deal. I doubt that was the one single X-Naut scientist on the entire thing. Seriously, another Thunder Rage? This is going to sound blasphemous, but I don't think I need a second Thunder Rage. I know. You heathen, what are you talking about? Like, a multi-target is nice. But I've already got another Thunder Rage, and I've got the stopwatch. Like, I don't feel like I need that. I think I'll be okay. Oh, it's in the back. There we go. It took me a second. I was, like, waiting for them to, like, pop in. Yeah, I can see it now. Up all the way. Oh, no, I missed it by 1. Problem is it doesn't show the individual tiles, so you kind of have to do a little guesswork here. There we go. Got a security key, diamond, I guess? Wasn't the first one blue? Why is it not just red, green, yellow, whatever? Okay, I'm not gonna pick that up. I'm not gonna waste everybody's time picking up the Sleepy Sheep. That's not worth it. I feel like Kenshi Koopa in the original Paper Mario was the only time that was, like, kind of viable, and even then, not really. Just because he, in particular, was weak to sleep, but you had the Star Spirit power to put enemies to sleep by that point, so, you know. Anyway. Speaking of Kenshi Koopa, here's another guy with glasses. Otherwise known as an X-Naut PhD. Guys like this invent all the annoying things that we fight. Max HP is 9, attack is 4, defense is 0. He likes to throw beakers of chemicals. Chemicals do all kinds of stuff like making things huge or burning people. He may also use potions to heal himself or make himself impossible to hit. X-Naut PhDs are really annoying, so take them out before they boost themselves. Let's start with one that's got the shooting star, shall we? Really don't need that messing up our day. Ouch! Attack power is now dropped, and yet she'll still probably be able to knock you out. Nah, not quite. She'll probably do like 3. Yeah. 3 per hit. Do I have an item with which I could use to defeat you? Yeah, why not? Tragic though it may be to say, the Thunder Rage is not going to be much help in this area, because most enemies don't have 5 or less health, unless you're, like, combining a Quake Hammer with it, which you could do, but I'm okay with tossing that Thunder Rage, essentially. Notice, new seminar, topic, galloping towards an era of risk-free potions. Participation is not voluntary. Keep the workspace orderly. I have some stuff to do, so I'm not coming into work tomorrow, and that's that. Yep, that sounds like something I would say. When leaving the lab, always do your all-point inspection in the loudest voice possible. I will do that. I will do that for you. I think we get access to this now, correct? If this is what I think it is. Where the heck are we? Turns out, we're in the Rogueport sewers. You now have full access. Yep. This door was locked previously, you couldn't get in here, but this means that you now have full access to get back to Rogueport for anything that you might need. So you're good to go. Like I said, there was just a small period where it would not be easy to get back. Now you kind of can at any point. dick. What do you think you're doing here, boy? I'm trying to remember if 150 is the largest stage you get, or if there is one more. There might be one more. I don't really remember. I mean, the level cap in this game is 99, so... And like I said in a previous video, you'll never get that high unless you're actively searching for it. But just playing through the game, no, you'll never get anywhere close to that. Believe it or not, of the three enemies, I actually think the PhD guy is the least obnoxious to deal with, because the other guys are going to put up shields. Ouch! It appears we are in a danger zone. Well, first and foremost, that guy's got to go. Now that that guy's gone... have anything good for this particular setup. Well, nah, we should keep the stopwatch for something else. I don't really know here, actually. We'll just use the egg. It's fine. We kind of need both Goombella and Mario to have their turn for dealing with the Yucks. One to take out all the mini ones, and then one to actually kill the Yucks itself. If you would be so kind. I messed that up, but since they only have one health, no big deal. Dude, this freaking fog, man. Like, this is what I remember from the original game, because this is the first time that the fog has actually caused a problem for us. It's normally been only appearing on the left side. So it's not been that big a deal, because it's only been defending us, but I remember, like, getting... the fog just, like, basically preventing all movement for all sides, where you just kept missing every shot on both sides. So when you fight the Yuckses, they just become a massive hassle because you can't hit them. Getting frozen by the stage. Like, the stage itself has not really, and maybe it's just I've been really lucky, but the stage itself has not been too much of a problem. I think that's the first time that it's actually done that, where it's genuinely caused a problem. Which, you know, if it's supposed to be as frequent as it was in the first game, then that would mean that I've been having an extremely lucky run, that it didn't cause me a single problem until Chapter 7 of 8. Where you're, like, what? 100% minus 12.5, so that would be 87.5% of the way through the game. There we go. Couldn't get through the grating there. I don't think there's anything in particular here that we need. Other than to hit this guy with a hammer. Gotta do that. Gotta try to get that next level, am I right? Try to get that 1,000 coins. Come to think of it, did I put a badge on after I think I put on the flower one, right? I don't have 3 badge points just sitting in my inventory not helping me, right? I didn't do a dumb... No, we're good. Interesting that guy respawn. I don't think they... Oh, no, they do. Okay, well. I'll just fight them as I walk across them if they're in the opposite direction. I'm not going to bother them. check this one. I'm pretty sure this is leading to the gear going through that little top panel. Which I believe the gear itself is optional, because that's just going for like the badges and stuff like that. I don't think you actually have to get the gear. Oh no, this is for the Easter egg. Yeah! How to turn on the power. Left, right, middle, do not forget. I want to read the other one. Today's code is 014029. Oh, so I actually was correct. They just have an extra thing on there for some reason. Because I was like, I think it's a number where you double it and then add 1. So that actually was the right answer. Look at that. I actually remember that. Somehow, I don't know why or how my brain remembered that, but it did. So that's kind of cool. Oh no, I don't need that, thanks. Alright, Fire Jinx. I messed up that last one, but luckily, that should still be enough. Yeah, I'm glad I put on that. Glad I put on that flower finder because I just went from 1 to 5. Oh, hello. I think I just blocked that third one he fired by hitting it with a hammer. I'm gonna intentionally not do full damage here. I don't know how much health this guy's got. I don't want to accidentally kill him because I think he's actually the only one in the game of these. That's an X-Yux. I have read this as, or I hear this is read as Cross-Yux, not X-Yux. My bad. Anyway, this is a new Yux designed to protect extra important areas. They were designed to be unbeatable. They're not. Max HP is 10, attacks 3, defense is 1. It can produce too many Cross-Yuxes at once. And it has an excellent success rate of immobilizing opponents. We gotta do something about that if we're gonna win. Hopefully this won't kill it. Nope, it did. I made sure to intentionally not hit the action icon or anything like that, but nope, it did too much damage. Oh well. Maybe I can leave the rim and come back and make him produce the smaller ones. Ah, here's a key card. Anything like we can check in here, like with Grubba's office? I guess not. What do you have to say about this area? Oh, no. Never mind. I was hoping she'd, like, comment on the piranhas back there or something. Of, like, wow, somebody, like, took the time to make this huge tank with these piranhas so this guy can, like, look like he's in the ocean when he's on the moon. Any chance that guy respawned? It would appear not. Oh, well. If I do have to come back for anything that's not that green key card, then maybe we'll fight him again. But as one would expect with the mini Cross-Yux, it's just going to be like a really weak thing that gives the guy a shield. It doesn't attack you directly. You need to destroy those in order to make him able to be damaged. You know the drill. We've seen it with all the other types of Yuxes. This is nothing new. Speaking of new, though, me remembering where I'm going, which is going up to sub-level 1. I don't think there's any reason to ever go back to the first floor after you start taking the elevators at all. I don't think there is. Could be wrong on that, though. Keep blocking that too late. I'm actually going to go ahead and use that now, since I reminded myself that I'm using the power-up defense down, so Mario is taking more damage as a result from each time that I'm doing the defend command incorrectly. There you go. It just doesn't, it just doesn't use those other two numbers, or letters, or whatever. Cool. That's actually pretty smart when you think about it. To be like, oh, it has up to 8 digits, but it doesn't actually have 8 digits. Not a lot of games do that. Yeah, I thought so. Well, then you're gonna have to beat me to get it. And if you lose, your life is mine. You hear me? Mines. What do you say? Challenge this chump. I'm gonna see if he actually kills you, or if he just makes you fight a bunch of strong enemies that you could get experience for. It just says you're toast, but does it actually kill you? Also, maybe you don't need the gear. Maybe you just... It looks... No, it does say insert the cog in the machine for this guide. So maybe there is a spot you can get it. Alright, we'll play nice and actually try for the quiz then. If I'd known that, I would have saved to just see if it actually would kill you. Because if it's fighting strong enemies for experience, I got no problem doing that. But oh well. If you get 5 correct answers, you win. If you get 3 wrong, you're toast. You don't want to be toast. Exactly what's hidden here? Oh, you mean specifically behind you, security key. I was expecting to see Crystal Star for the answer. Oh, you don't have the security key. Alright. What's the name of the girl in Petalburg who's patiently waiting for Koops' return? That one I know. Koopaku. Yep, I'm sure on that one. I'm completely confident. Goomba, Lava Bubble, Buzzy Beetle, and Boo. How many feet do they have total? Goomba's got 2, Lava Bubble has none, Buzzy Beetle has 4, and Boo has 0. So 6 total. It's elementary for non-idiots. Where was the one, the only Diamond Star? The Diamond one was the first one we got, so it was in Hooktail's belly, because this one is the, let's see, Podley Sanctum is like the orange one, Glitzville's Arena is the other orange one, and Cortez's was the sapphire one. Because, like, one of them is amber, and one of them was, like, gold or something. Whatever it was. Whenever I did the timestamps for all the other archive streams, which are all up, by the way. They're all up, they're all archived, they're all, like, timestamped with everything, so you can, like, skip to each segment to get a rough idea of where you are in the chapters and whatnot. I put all of those different ones, what they were called specifically. What was the name of the very first champion of the Glitz Pit? Prince Mush. correct, you jerk. You've already gotten 4. You're kidding me. Alright, fire away. What did Francesca and Frankie from Rogueport lose on Keelhaul Key? They lost ring. Technically, it's more of like a band, because it like goes around their arm rather than their finger, but it's called a wedding ring, so it's a ring. They don't really have fingers, per se. They just have, like, one mass and then a thumb. So, I guess if they only have one finger, then yes, it would also qualify as a ring in that regard. You do, you lose. And they give up that key card, my man. Elevator key red. So what was the other one we got, then? No, that's not what I'm trying to do. Gear. Oh, these just open specific doors. Didn't we already have the blue one? I guess we plugged it in, so it's just not there anymore. Not the star pieces for here. One's in the crane, and one's the one we already got. Really quickly. That guide seemed to say that we already are supposed to have the gear to be able to do that crane game. Oh yeah, because this is looking like we're almost done. Okay, there we go. Oh, well, first we'll do a fight, sure. Lots of Thunder Rages here. Let's just check each of these rooms. Alright, so this is... because we're on sub-level 1 right now, correct? Yeah, so we don't need to go anywhere, because I think this is the correct floor. Oh, maybe it's not. This is a very small floor. This just leads to the crane. Okay, so we do need to be in sub-level 2 then. Really quickly, though, before we do that, it did say something about hitting the switches, so it was left, right, middle, I think. You might have to have the crane before you can do that, though. Yeah. Or the gear, rather. You might have to have the gear before you can do that. I'll also very quickly run to the right and double check and see if that one cross yucks respawned now that we left the floor and came back. Since it seems like most of the other enemies are respawning, well, I say that and now there's nobody in this hallway. I'm willing to bet if you probably left the entire building and came all the way back, they probably would respawn, but I don't want to do that. I'm already wasting a lot of time here trying to figure out where this gear is. We're looking for, yes, this one right here. All the way to the left, turn Mario Starter Blaze and drop down the second vent from the left. Ah, we didn't actually do that. We only went to the far left and the far right, so I did miss that one. Because I was pretty sure you had to go down one of these to get to the gear. I was right. I just didn't check them all. Yep, there it is. It says you're supposed to use Yoshi to collect this. Consider also just Koops, because it's going to be way easier, and you're much less likely to make a mistake. I think that's all we need other than doing the crane. And then we can move on to the later sub-levels. I'm going to go ahead and save because it's been a little bit since we've done that. I know there's at least one more puzzle we have to do with like the electric shocking tiles thing where you have to like follow it while it's slowly moving. Alright. Cog. Left. Right. Middle. Alright, now we're free to play that crane game. Yeah, it's pretty simple. The crane will start moving automatically. It'll move its left for as long as you hold down Y. It'll move backward as long as you hold down X. So just go and grab what you want. It's pretty forgiving on this, at least in the original. Apparently not so here, though. Too far to the right. No, it gave me that. Okay. Or not. Okay, it's going to be a lot less forgiving in this game. That's like right on top of it. I was saying, am I supposed to be holding down a button here or something? I wouldn't bother with the coins personally, but I would get the badges. Yeah, I'm not gonna get that one. I would get the badges and the star piece. Well, it behaves like an actual crane. I'll give you that. Nope, that was too far back. Was also too far back. Yeah, the ring of light that's in the very center is obviously your guide, but it was also like a much bigger ring of light in the... I let go of that way early and it was still too late. Oh no, it's gonna count that one. But the ring of light is much smaller in this game than it was the original. Alright, that last one, it's way back there. Might be a little too far back. No, it's gonna give it to me. Cool. Again, I'm not gonna bother with the coins. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. Yep, I'm out. I don't need any more of that, thanks. So yeah, makes your partner immune to status changes like poison or dizzy. And of course makes you immune to status changes. And then the star piece. Yeah, you know what? That's fair. That's fair. Considering how the final boss works, wouldn't say a requirement, but high necessity for sure for final boss. So bear that in mind. Those will probably ultimately be getting put on first in my next couple levels before any Power Plus. Just be aware of that. Like, poison's not the be-all, end-all of this game, poison in RPGs is always weird, because it does one of either two things. It's either not that big a deal, where it only does like a tiny amount of damage, or one amount of damage, or it's like a percentage of your max health, so it can kill you extremely quickly. Where it's like a fourth of your max health, so in 4 turns, if you do not heal it, you will be dead. But thankfully, this is a game where it's more so the former, but you still don't want it to kill you. Sub-level 3. I don't think there's much in sub-level 4, because that's basically where you were with Peach and Tech and all of that. I believe you still have to go there to talk to Tech, because I think Tech gives you something. But that said, we'll just go in order here, because inevitably we'll get blocked by something we can't progress with. Get him! Oh, don't put fog on here, man. You got him nice and clean, though. Alright, cool. Fog didn't save him. Perfect. That's what we want. We don't need him getting saved by the stage. I do like how they make like the stage and the audience their own characters, though. It's like one of the most interesting things about the Titanic movie, which I don't consider to be largely all that great, but I just don't care for. I mean, it's for me personally, but I love that they make the boat a character. Like, it is its own character. There's even a spot where like the person that built the boat is talking to, I think, Rose. And the builder is like, I'm sorry I couldn't build a better ship for you to stay alive, but it's like the boat is basically the one that's apologizing for not being able to survive this iceberg. Like, making the boat its own character is such a cool idea. I've always liked the idea of having character, like, objects that are not alive. They can be concepts or whatever, like a boat. But having them basically be their own character, they still act like living characters in some regard. It's a really nice touch. I want to say there's a hidden block in here. I don't think there is. I think I'm making that up. Yeah, I don't see anything on this little guide that I had pulled up for where the cog was, so. Because there's not a way, I mean, you could hop around and look for them, but there's not a way to check for those in this game, I don't think. In the first game there was. You had Watt that would let you, if you held Watt out, then she, question mark, and I say question mark because the game is contradictory in it, if you've seen that video on my YouTube of when you get Watt, it says something like, oh yeah, she'll have all these abilities, and then you go to upgrade Watt, because there's an upgrade station right there, like right next to where you get her, and all of a sudden it says Heal Master Turbocharge. So I don't know if Watt is male or female. I don't know what they're going by, so I don't know. It might be one of those things where in the Japanese version Watt is male, and in the American one Watt is female. It's anybody's guess, really. Thanks for being inconsistent. So, but yeah, Watt could help you locate those blocks. You don't really have a way to do that in Thousand Year Door, which is a bit strange. But, oh well. Ah, so this is where all the key cards go. So we've got most of these. I'm willing to bet Tech will give you the last one. You gotta think, if this is like multiple sub-levels, that they probably dug into the moon. Like, Like, probably forever ruined the shape of the moon by doing this. This is new. Hello? Excuse you? Do you mind, sir? The hell were you doing in the shower, boy? Fully clothed, no less. What the hell? Hey, get out of here, you weirdo. I was just gonna show off, like, yeah, this is where Peach is being held captive. That dude wasn't there in the original. What the heck? I'm pretty sure Tech gave you the card, but, like, okay, I guess that boy was just hanging out in the shower with the key card. Alright then. I know there are some people like that, though, that are, like, they do the whole never nude thing where they'll wear, like, underwear similar into the shower, which, like, you do have to change clothes at some point, right? Like, I don't know. Oh, so the door is locked, so they actually don't want you to go and visit Tech then. That's why. I see. Because you can talk to Tech in the original, like, he's still barely clinging on to life, and he'll be like, oh, you're Mario, like, you're who Peach has been talking about. Like, Grotus took Peach, they're not there anymore, but you need to get that last crystal star and get back to the 1,000-year door before it's too late, and that's when he dies. So, interesting that they decided not to do that. I guess they wanted to make his revival maybe a little bit more surprising. Maybe they took that away. Maybe he doesn't come back at all in any capacity. There's no way Princess Peach isn't beyond that door, right? Well, you'll never know, because I'm switching to Goombella. How am I looking for stats? Missing 1 health, but that's okay. Otherwise, we look good to go. Let's do it. Of course, we've got a little bit of platforming to do before we get to the fight, but that's okay. Let's go for a tried and true multi-target combo here. Well, I was gonna switch to Koops and just power shell them, but now that 2 of them have been taken out of commission, there's no point in wasting the FP, right? Luckily, that's a pretty good remedy, using ice for the swelled head that these guys have. Even if these aren't, or even if these are used for something, I'm very sure I don't need a second one. This is really the only, like, platforming section of this area, which is kind of surprised that there wasn't a little bit more. I guess there's technically some with getting the gear, but that's reaching a fair bit, I think. But what I like about this one is it has you use, I think, basically every party member. There won't be any more star pieces, so I don't know why I'm looking around for them. Got all the shine sprites, and there are no more star pieces in X-Naut Ruins, or X-Naut Fortress, rather. Look around if you want, but you're not gonna find them. You might find items like that Ultra Shrimp back there, but part of me is like, do I even bother going over there for that? I probably should. I had a feeling you couldn't make both of those in one go. That's a shame. You might be able to if you time it perfectly. I just missed it by a bit, but who knows. Tossing for this. We got so many of those. I want to keep the power punches for the boss, to be perfectly honest with you. I'll drop the Thunder Rage. think I want to go across. Yeah, this looks like a way to just get you back up if you fall. I had a feeling I wasn't going to be able to make that. This is going to be one where I have to wait for a bit, I think. Reminds me of that pole jumping for red coins in oh, World 9. It's the world that nobody remembers from Super Mario 64. Seriously, another one of these? Man, I don't... Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to give up that ruin powder. There's got to be another spot to get it, and if, you know what? If I am wrong about that and you have to go grind for it and I made a mistake, that's on me. What is that down there? Next to the warp pipe. Maybe that's just a weird thing, I don't know. Is there a spot in particular I'm supposed to be going here? I feel like I should just do that, no? Like, this is the way forward. Oh, you need a key card. Oh, okay, I see now. I was like, there's gotta be a reason all this is down here, right? I do see the key card, and now I understand. Probably more. Maybe there's another Ultra Shroom. We've got like a third of our inventory is that now, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, a third of the inventory. Like, I don't need all these. I just don't. But worst case scenario, they get mixed with a maple syrup or jam and jelly or whatever, and I sell them off later, right? No, come back. I don't want to have to wait for the rotation. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to wait for it twice. No. I don't want to. I've had to wait for it a third time, actually. It's not synced up well at all right now. Yikes. There we go. Worst part is I might have to do that a third time. Even if I do get the key card, it might force me to. Oh yeah, that's super easy. I was expecting to have to fly way farther using that. I guess not. It only fires one. I was thinking it would fire a second one for some reason. My mistake. Well, it looks like we're not going to get a level before fighting the boss. So that's a bit of a shame. Even if we'd gotten the doubler right there, it would not have made a difference. I have no use for that. I can't justify a fire flower. Sorry. So what's the difference between the two pipes here? Why would I... Is this just to get back, I guess? Like, all the way back, I could just skip everything? Is there something back here? There's another pipe. Oh, well, don't jump out like that. Dude, you could have just jumped up and then back down, and I'm going to assume the other one probably takes you to that pipe there. There's nothing, like, there's no shine sprites, there's no star pieces, there's no badges from what I can tell, and even if there's an item, it's something I probably either don't want or couldn't hold anyway, so I'm not going to, like, make you suffer through more of this. We're just going to go fight the boss. If he had just jumped up and stayed on the pipe, I could have just jumped back down. I could have just jumped back down into it and just gone back, but nope, he had to jump out like that. Mario, why you gotta do that? Don't you just love it when it's a forced scroller or something similar? It's like, I want to play at my own pace. This is why I don't like the auto-scroller things. Yes, I'm in pain. Like, I can deal with it for a time, but when you have to, like, go through the same thing multiple times, that's when it's like, okay, that's enough now. If I've got to deal with it once, like, okay, no big deal, I can handle that. But when it's like, no, you're going to have to do this, like, 4 times, that's too many. That's much too many. Well, at least this appears to be synced up well, so I don't have to wait for that. So yeah, that other pipe that's down there, I don't know what's in it, and unfortunately we'll never know. I gotta think it's the other one, though, because that's the only pipe that we've not gone out of. So I'm gonna assume the other pipe takes you there. If you want to find out, you can go buy the game yourself and play it, but I'm not going to waste any more time. We're just going to put the security key in and get out of here. Now, the boss fight. It's Lord Dump. Yeah. It's not Grotus. Sorry. I kind of already spoiled that with there being a Chapter 8, but yeah, the boss fight here is not Grotus. Yep, he's taken out Magnus von Grapple once again. Last seen in Chapter 2. You fight this guy 4 times total in the game, I think, because you've got the tutorial one, which probably ultimately doesn't really count, the one in Chapter 2, the one again in Chapter 5, and then here in Chapter 7. Well, at least it doesn't have that awful pink color that it did. Alright. Magnus von Grapple 2.0. Magnus von Grapple 2.0, the upgraded version of Magnus von Grapple. Probably could have wagered that. Max HP is 70, attack is 6, and defense is 2. His basic attack is a drill move that drops from above. It also sometimes releases its fist for flying X punches. Maybe it's cross punches, I don't know. Each X punch has a max HP of 5, an attack of 9, and a defense of 0. When those fists are flying, you may get attacked by the fist and body in 1 turn. Take care of those low HP fists early on, trust me. When the body's HP gets low, it'll also fire machine guns and who knows what else. It may not look too different from the last version, but it's much stronger, so be careful. I still think the whole design is a little ridiculous, though. Yeah, it is. It's a little Dumby. Just curious to see how much damage we can do before putting on the power punches. Alright, show me what you got. Now's where we get to have the fun. Oh, don't give him fog. Don't make it easier for him. Oops, it's almost like I kept the Thunder Rage specifically to eliminate those. Look at how impressive that miss was. It didn't do any damage, but boy, was it stylish. Ouch. That fog, go away, please? No? Alright, cool. I don't really have anything I need to use right now, per se. I'm gonna keep the Power Punch for Mario. So I think what we'll do instead is this. We haven't shown this off yet. Rally Wink. Tap B or A as shown. You sacrifice Goombella's turn, so Mario gets an additional turn. In case you were ever wondering, why do I think the fog is annoying? Here's your answer! We could have done almost 30 damage by now that did not count because of that fog. That has still not gone away. There we go. Lord. I think we're probably just going to have to Earth Tremor this, so... Hold that thought. As I was saying, I think we're just going to have to Earth Tremor this, so... Just throwing a little bit of chip damage here. In fact, I might do you one better and just go for Art Attack. I'm more confident with this than I am with Earth Tremor. I always feel like I'm going to mess it up, even though I've only messed it up like once in the streams thus far. I was known for messing it up quite a bit in the original game, though. Oh, crud, you guys should be little puzzles of nothing by now. Oh, well. Yeah, uh-huh. Nice, it has a built-in asshole. That's great. Eat the, yeah, eat audience, because, sure. Good God, that did a lot of damage. I couldn't block any of that. What a little weenie. Oh, thank you, I appreciate that. I don't know if I'm going to use that in this fight, but, you know, I could use it for later. Do we have another life shroom, or are we... Okay, we are out, so I do need to be careful. I actually have to be careful for once. Who thought? Who would have thought, right? I think I'm going to end up using Sweet Treat in this, so... Whenever he tries to throw, I think I'm just going to protect Goombella from any additional damage that she might take. I could do Power Lift, but honestly. I do like Power Lift, but like in this particular instance, I think getting the health back would be a little bit more important. Or I could just immediately hit a Poison Mushroom and not be able to move. And then immediately hit a second Poison Mushroom and also not be able to move. They timed that perfectly to stop me from getting it. Alright, they give me most of Mario's health back at least. Oh, that's not good. Please take... If he fires at Mario, I'm absolutely dead. There's no question about it. Goombella was near full. Okay, good. He's targeting Goombella. Good. Fire away. Alright, now that that stupid fog isn't here to save you anymore... Which I might add, had that fog not existed, he would have already died by now. He would have been dead. He would have done 11, 8, and 8. I guess he would have barely been alive, but at that point I would have just damaged him and killed him. Like, I wouldn't have been playing defensively at this point. I would have just gone for it. In a better health spot than myself, so we'll do this. is just survive this round, and if we do, then we're good. No, how? What? My sweet product robot is on the ropes. This is wrong. I don't know if he's got the ability to restore his health or not. But now he's all shiny. He got a little bath, so that's nice. Now he's going for the machine gun again. Well, let's hope he goes after Gambella, or else we just lost. Well, I guarded it better, but it ultimately did not matter. The good news is, Gambella, you will be avenged. By me attacking that guy in the audience, and also by just killing him. This is for Gambella, bitch. Nice. Yeah, that fight's not actually that hard. That fog really dicked me over by messing up 3 really strong hits I would have gotten on him, and all 3 of them missed. It's actually not that bad of a fight. Bye, Lord Dump. Oh, that's so nice. You thought Grotus was going to come save you? No, he used you as a pawn. My bad. My B. Have fun. Now it's time for him to Team Rocket out of here. But it's also time for us to leave as well, because we've got the final Crystal Star. And this one's just an actual Crystal Star. It doesn't have like a... It's not an Amber Star or a Diamond Star. It is just straight up Crystal Star. Your star power is now 8, and Mario learned the special move Supernova, which does 15 damage to all enemies, and unsurprisingly, it is the Crystal Star that uses up the most star power, because it's very easy to pull off doing that full damage. It's just mashing A. The last Crystal Star had been hidden in the X-Naut hideout on the moon, but by the time Mario had recovered it, Peach had already been taken away. Where could Peach be now? One of the elusive Grotus. Perhaps he holds the key to the remaining puzzle. Mario finally has all 7 Crystal Stars. Where will they lead him next? Probably to the 1,000-year door, one would wager. But more importantly than Peach, it's time for Bowser. Which is the real reason we're all here, is for Boyfriend. Hello. I'd say I'd like to mount a large animal horn. Oh my god. That's disgusting. Get away from me, creep. You can't have my horns. I don't think she was referring to those type of horns that she'd like to mount, but okay. Hello there, guy. Poshly Heights is nice on a warm afternoon, eh? What's that? You're a great and evil king, are you? Really? You know, guy, I think maybe you got a little too much sun, eh? Wow, you're big, mister. What's your name? Koopa Coot. Let's go with Evil King Extraordinaire. I'm Bowser. Bowser, Evil King Extraordinaire. Yeet! Aw, that's a shame. I thought he would be like, oh, that's awesome! That would automatically make Bub one of the best characters from this game, because he likes Bowser. Whoa. I don't have a clue what you're talking about. You people scare me. Seriously. Anybody else over here? Alright. If you don't want to talk to everybody, you can just go straight to the door. It's locked. But Bowser, you're also Bowser. Like, you broke through doors in Mario RPG all the time. Get on in there, you silly little thing. You got a Crystal Star to get. I do like how it's a museum, and this is the only thing there, by the way, is just the Crystal Star, nothing else. Yeah. You heard it here first. Bowser is the best star-getting guy. I'm the remorse. I like the Shadow Thief more, but the way Bowser is, the remorseless King of Evil fits better. Bowser, the remorseless King of Evil, so I'll take what I want, and I want this. Yes, Daddy. Yes, well, no matter. Yes, so I deduced him, then listen well. That crystal star is a red herring. Yes, an imposter. Yep. Just like the one he got off the champion's belt is, of course, a fake. Look at that fancy display, the pedestal and everything. It's so posh. It's a fake, then where's the real one, huh? You must know I gave the real one to Luigi. You've got to be kidding me. You mean to tell me that Luigi beat me here? Those Mario Bros are the most annoying brothers of all time. Yeah, you know when you can't beat Luigi, you're having a rough go of things. See, what would have actually made this funny is, like, to swap out one of the earlier ones, like, have this one appear, and then Bowser actually runs into Luigi, because, you know, he's roaming around the area. You can talk to him and find the story of what he's doing. And then, of course, Luigi just completely flips out. Oh, well. Mario's got them all, heading for the 1,000-year door. Yeah, you get him, Bowser. What a good little boy. Except he's not, but, I mean, we still love him. Finally got all 7 crystal stars. Awesome. Now we can open the 1,000-year door. But we still know where Peach is. Well, kind of obvious, because we didn't find Grotus here either, so it would be pretty safe to assume that Grotus has Peach. Wherever he is, she will be. So even if you don't know where she is exactly, you got an idea at least. Alright, I'm curious now, before we actually leave the hideout. Do we get to talk to Tech now, or is the door still closed? Open. You are Mario, are you not? I'm making computer to this fortress. I am Tech. I must tell you something. You didn't bring me here. The door was closed. I could have just skipped this all. Actually, you know what? I don't think you can skip it. I think the little teleporter thing is deactivated unless you come back here, so I think you do actually have to view this, but I could be wrong about that. So yeah, he is definitely on his last legs. He knows that we know that Peach is already gone. With Grotus heading to the Palace of Shadow. Mario's eyes. Yep. Ah, the door's locked. Gotcha. The party member feels bad. Mario's just hanging, his mouth just hanging wide open like a dumbass. Like that. Yeah, Mario, you probably want Tech to die anyway. You don't need another suitor coming after. You've already got to deal with Bowser, right? And surely there's at least one other character that's been in one game, maybe multiple, I don't know, that has fallen in love with Peach, that is trying to win her over, that's not just Bowser. There's got to be at least one more. That's the rest in peace. That's the formal way of doing that. Is you press F and then you tip your cap ever so slightly. That's clearly how that works. I will say, this does look a bit freaky with all the red lights like this. Oh, and they do it all across the fortress, too. Nice. Are all the rooms like that as well? Yeah, they totally are. Just full red lighting. Creepy. Is it just the door that's already open, I guess? Oh, there you go. Take care, Tech. We'll miss you, bud. Like, I do joke about him being like, it's a computer that got a hard-on from watching Peach in the shower, but, like, at the very least, he was real enough to understand the concept of, like, if you love somebody, like, choosing to stay with somebody only means something if you're free to go. Like, wanting your beloved to be happy is more, if you put that above your own happiness if you truly love somebody. But we're back. Well, if it isn't Mort. Oh no, it's that farting fool. Aha. Nope, she wasn't. Well, yeah, I guess, yeah, she was on the moon, but she's not now. And since that could only be either Grotus or Lord Crump, and we just finished kicking Lord Crump's ass, it's obviously not him. I went ahead and meet you there. Don't dawdle, you must come immediately. And 4-star pieces. I would probably pick up Heartfinder of all these, to be honest, so I think I'm going to pass for the time being. Ah, yeah, I forgot about you. Wondering how I can type an email, I possess the train conductor to do it. Ah, so that's how you'd be able to, like, physically move stuff around. That's cool. Hey, bud. Well, good little boy. RDM, final issue. Wait, hold up. I kind of want to read this one. Local authorities report that Zesty delivered a left hook to the jaw of Gadabout Flavio this very late afternoon. Our investigation has revealed the cause of the feisty fisticuffs may have been Zesty's anger that a shipment of gourmet ingredients spoiled on the dock because Flavio had held up the dock crew with a marathon 2-day tale of high seas adventure. What the hell? While Flavio's recovering from temporary memory loss, Zesty has already been approached by Glitz Pit talent scout, Don Gumbadi. I think the kids got spunk will take the world by storm. Nice. And for the shop, I guess it doesn't have anything new here, or not the double point things. And the last thing is some spicy soup with the snow bunny, and you can make the couple's cake. We may meet again, perhaps sooner than you think. Interesting. You found a special finding issue hasn't stopped. Urgent news has come across our desk about a certain missing quiz show host, Chuck Quizmo. This was a guy from the first game that you got star pieces from. Where it was like, you got like 64, like a good chunk of them were given to you by this guy. We've received insider info that his absence can be blamed on the upcoming show, Hey, Who's Fibbin'? Sadly, the troubled production has kept him too busy to join for this adventure, but this reporter wishes him luck. It's sure to be a hit when it premieres. See you next time, Chuck. We'll count on it. If you're seeking a special dish, try adding an item notice point swap. This will let you flip the intensity of whatever you're cooking up. Take an item with a low effect, mix it with a point swap, and wowie's out. You gotta try this. Yeah, if you, like, do that with a mushroom that would give you 5 health, it would trade it into a honey syrup that would give you 5 FP, that type of thing. You've truly, finally, honestly reached the end of our reporting. Thank you for all the way to the end. We'll ever meet again. As long as news letters remain the dominant form of reporting, there's always a chance. Yeah, that aged like milk. Anyway, moving swiftly on. go ahead and save. We're gonna go, like, open the 1,000-year door, but I'm not gonna hop in there just yet. And also we'll activate the warp to get back to, either Fahr Outpost or the moon. I'm actually not sure which of the two it would give us, but I guess we'll find that out, won't we? Slightly curious to see how much how many star points these guys will give us now. Yeah, just one. That's not surprising. We got quite a few levels from that area, so can't say I'm overly shocked. The Magic Koopa. Let me try that again. The Koopa Troll might give 2. Yeah, good guess. I'm not gonna go fight that other one. I was just curious to see how much they would give. Oh, well, thanks for the extra coins. Hey, don't do that. I was busy typing something and like a little notification popped up of like, oh, you're trying to minimize this window. No, I'm not. Very quickly checking messages. Making sure that nothing's going on that I'm missing. Okay. Cool. Hi, frankly. What kept you, Mara? I was busy taking a dump. I don't know. It's all come down to this. Hurry now, Mario. Hold the loft to the last crystal star. Yeah, we already know how this is going to play out. Because, spoiler alert, they didn't actually go through the gate, and that's not actually frankly. That's Dupless in disguise. They're waiting for you to open the door so they can get in there. That's the whole trick of, like, Grotus realized, like, whether Crump wins or loses, and very likely he is going to lose, one of the two of them will have all the crystal stars. So the door will get opened regardless. And that's when they'll make their move. Diamond Star, the Sapphire Star, the Gold Star, the Ruby Star, or sorry, the Emerald Star was the second one. The 5th one is the Sapphire one. The Amber Star, which isn't actually what it's called, I think it's Garnet Star, and the Crystal Star. I feel like Amber would have worked fine, but I guess Garnet's probably like a more rare or precious thing than Amber is. At long last, the entrance to the Palace of Shadow has been opened. Before Peach falls victim to that fiend, before he takes over the world, we must rescue the princess and stop this cataclysm. Alright. So, we would be starting Chapter 8 if we walked in there right now. What I think I'm going to do is very quickly end the stream, and then we will hop back on. But I don't think... I'm going to double check this, because I'm not sure how the Trouble Center works for Chapter 8. I don't remember if you have to beat Chapter 8 or if there's not anything. Okay, this is after clearing Chapter 8, so there are more there. Because I'm thinking, like, I want to do a lot of the side questing stuff in a video, the star pieces and what have you. That's a good question. What do I want to do in that regard? I think we are going to do some of the side questing stuff. I think I might have, like... We'll have, like, the post-Chapter 8 stuff, and that would be the bonus stuff of, like, finishing the last parts of the Trouble Center, which would just be the 3 things that it's got here, and doing, like, all the smaller post-game stuff, so it would be a smaller video. So I think we'll do the side quests in the next video. So we'll end the stream very quickly, and then I will immediately start it back up. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break before I do so. So if you don't hear anything for a couple of, well, not even a couple minutes, probably be, like, 2 minutes, give or take. Then we'll hop back on and we'll do some side questing stuff. We'll probably do the seeing what we got here. 69 BP, nice. Right, because I wanted to grab these. So we've gotten all of the shine sprites, so we're good on that. So we don't need to worry about unlocking any of the sound gallery stuff. But for the art gallery, we don't have any of the star pieces from any of the areas, which I guess technically we're not going to get this one because those will be Chapter 8 ones, and Chapter 8 I think has its own set. But we'll get all the star pieces that we can possibly get up to this point. We'll try to do as many of the rest pieces we can up to this point. I'm not sure how many of those are. We'll get as many badges up to this point as we can, which we've got most of these, it looks like. But I'm sure there's some in Chapter 8. And I don't know about doing the Pit of 100 Trials. We might do that post-game. I don't know. We'll see. I'll take a look at how things look in a second. But first, I will see y'all in about 5 seconds.